Who are your musical influences?
Well, I had a lot growing up. I mean, I used to listen to everything growing up. But I do have to say my main influence growing up, as cliche as it is, is my mother. Like when I was growing up, she was the one that I've got a musical family, but she was the one that got me out and performing in front of people. So really, her influence on me was really, really big. I think if it wasn't for her getting me out in front of crowds of people and playing and performing and singing and stuff, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing today. And so she's definitely my biggest influence. And
what is your favorite song to perform?
You know what? It varies. Every night is completely different. I have, thankfully enough, I have a big repertoire of songs that I can go back and pick from, and doing some old 3 Days Grace stuff is always fun. Doing my own solo stuff is always fun, and of course, my main thing, Saint Asonia, the new project is that's a big thing for me, and that's what I sort of focus on. I focus on the new Saint Asonia stuff, but with some 3 Days Grace stuff thrown in there as well as my own, and then at the same time I try to take requests if I can. If I can do one at a time, I try to take requests and try to do the odd cover here and there.
You've written a lot of amazing songs. There's no doubt about it. What is one song you wish you wrote?
One song I wish I wrote. I'm going to say the song that I wish I wrote. Quite honestly, that's a really, really hard question because there's so many great songs, and my favorites out there are so all over the place. It's so varied. I'll just say that one song that I really wish I had wrote would be "Sober" by Tool. I really believe that song has such a really cool meaning, and I don't think I don't think it's as deep as people believe it to be, and I don't believe that Maynard meant it to be as deep as people take it, but that song just in general is just all around. It's an amazing song, and it's one of those songs that when you hear it, you can't help but get into it.
What's the first song you ever learned?
The very first song I learned on guitar, and don't laugh at this, but the very first song I learned on guitar was "Stairway to Heaven," and it was a tough one. It was really hard, and my cousin who was basically my brother growing up, he was a really incredible guitar player, and he taught me a lot about what I know. And he basically showed me the chord progressions. He showed me how to play that song, and from then on out, I practiced, and that song became the first song that I ever learned to actually play all the way through, from front to back. And then the second one was a Stevie Ray Vaughan song. Like I said, it took a long time, but it was a good song for me to work on, different fingerings with my left hand and different picking patterns and all that stuff. And it was the same with Blackbird, right? The Beatles. He gave me that one as well to try to figure out, and that sure was a killer. But I know Blackbird back and forth now, up and down, back and forth, and I can play that one no problem.
If you could tour with any artist, which artist would you like to tour with?
Well, that's a tough one. Living or dead? If
you had your pick of living or dead, if there was one artist that you'd be like, I'd love to go on tour with them, which one would it be?
Well, fortunately, I've had the fortunate opportunity of touring with one of my idols and inspirations, a fellow by the name of Martin Sexton. he took me out on tour. He is an incredible player and quite an inspiration. I would say dead, Jeff Buckley would be the other guy, and he was such an innovator and so incredible live that touring with him, I believe, would be a fun time for sure.
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
No, I mean, I don't really have a ritual before I go on stage. I mean, my on-stage ritual is basically I'll grab an acoustic guitar, I'll sit and I'll play acoustic guitar, and I will sing a song here and there, but that warms up my voice, get me going that way. And then from there, I just kind of go on stage, and quite honestly, the first few songs of the set, I really do consider that to be my warm-up. Just because I slowly ease into the set, and that becomes my warm-up, yeah.
When you're touring like a full-piece band like Saint Asonia, and then you go on the road doing your acoustic thing, do you have to get a different mindset to move from a full-piece set to an acoustic?
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on really depends on the audience. It depends on the room and the crowd that I'm playing for. With Saint Asonia, we're playing shows to 1,500, 2,000 people, and then when I get to doing acoustic shows, when I'm just playing for maybe a few less than that, it's a more intimate setup where I'm sort of me and the crowd are very. I mean, we talk to each other. We sort of engage back and forth, and that's a really cool feeling. With the live shows with the band, that's a different thing where it's really hard to sort of engage with people in the crowd other than what I normally do, which is jump off stage and get into the crowd and maybe do a little bit of crowd surfing and maybe get to shake a few hands while I'm out there.
What's one of your most memorable moments?
One of my most memorable moments, I mean, it's got to be, I played to 30,000 people in Brazil. It was at the Rock in Rio site in Rio de Janeiro. 30,000 people, and we were the only international band to come and play the festival, so it was all Brazilian bands except for us, and just the anticipation of being the only band from America there was truly exciting. It was quite the experience. It really was amazing.
That's cool. Did they know all your songs too? Like, did they sing along to them and everything?
Yeah. At that point, we had released our first record, and they knew certain songs like "I Hate Everything About You" and "Just Like You." They knew "Home." They knew all the songs from the first record. So it was one of those things where people were singing all the lyrics back to me from the first album, and yeah, it was really cool. It was a really, really cool experience.
That's pretty awesome to know that your music can reach that far into the world.
Yeah, I know. It really was probably one of the best moments of my life. Playing to 30,000 people in Brazil was I mean, that's something that not a lot of people can say, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do an interview with me. I know you're very busy.
I appreciate the time and the support.